Yo, the Thunder War continues with part 2 in Storm number 11. And man, this thing is reaching cosmic levels. Yo, what are we waiting on? Roll that intro, cuss. Yeah. What's going on, Geek Corner? This is your boy, Earthsmack the Mad Scientist. Welcome back to the Orange Phoenix Media channel as we cover another comic book today, which is the Thunder War Part 2 with Storm number 11. So, where this takes place is the neutral realm for all pantheons. And this is where the Storm Gods are having a meeting. And what is this meeting about? This meeting is about Storm, because Zeus asked the question, what is the verdict? So, with that being said, he says, all those in favor of the council joining forces with Earthstorm Mutant to protect the universe, Beta Ray Bill raises his hand, naturally, of course. And he also asked the question, and all those in favor of the council joining forces with Hadad, the first, on his revenge quest against the universe. And many other Storm Gods raised their hands. Obviously, this pissed Beta Ray Bill off, and he's like, this is madness. Surely you have all gone insane, or have the centuries of excess meat and wine finally taken their toll. As you see, a Storm God cracks open a bottle to take a swig, but he goes on to say, Susanoo claimed his legendary blade Kusanagi no Tsurugi from the tail of the ferocious 8-headed serpent Yamata no Orochi. Zeus felled the terrible Typhon, and Indra vanquished Ritra. They are not alone in this victory. Zazie, Seth, Heno, and many of us have wrestled with Leviathans. The universe made them our mortal foes, made Storm Gods like Sugar and Inkanyaba into dragons so we may better comprehend our enemies. Our purpose is to deliver the universe from the great cosmic Leviathan Oblivion, not ally ourselves with Hadad and drive all we hold dear back into the void. So these Storm Gods is like, okay, why then did eternity pass us over only to handpick a mortal as his host? Beta Ray Bill? Why then did the universe choose a weak being as its champion? He's like, we exerted pressure and heat, hoping the carbon would harden into a diamond. All she did was crumble like graphite. We will fight alongside Hadad, tear down this faulty universe, from the ashes, build a new one that is kind, one that is just, one that is ours. And Beta Ray Bill like, all right, bet. How about I exert pressure and heat on your face, Susanoo, so you may have a taste of the fury you should expect from Asgardian steel and Eurometa if you continue down this path. How many beings derive joy and purpose from their existence? You will snuff them all out because that existence does not please you? And from that standpoint, they are interrupted by Hadad himself. Now, the decision was already made because Susanoo lost both of his arms, and that's where we're going to put a pin in that, because we got to go back to where Galactus pretty much got his butt whipped by Infinity, and he's pretty much getting his bones picked out by the government. And obviously, Bishop comes in to help aid and like get everybody off of Galactus, because Galactus is a reformed world eater. So he saved him from the government. Now, from that standpoint, it goes on to say everything changed when her mutant abilities manifested. On that day, our planet felt so small, so delicate, so fragile. Her whims could send the world over the edge of oblivion to total annihilation. So she treads carefully like a titan on a bridge of sawdust. She averts her access to some of her more terrifying powers. But as Affinity stands before her, Storm unleashes all she has ever held back. The floodgates of self-control have been demolished, and fury crashes out. Tectonic plates grind against other, tremoring the earth. And with a deafening roar, Storm spews blue blazes, her wrath knowing no bounds. And she goes on to say, I am Aurora Monroe, descendant of Ashake. I share blood with Agamotto, the first Sorcerer Supreme. My roots run deep, far back to Oster, the Elder God. All elements are mine to command. I am a goddess. Your brother, Eternity, possessed my body against my will. piloted me till I gave out, made me watch with my own eyes while he decimated my loved ones with my abilities. He made me a pawn in his games, a student of his cruel, idiotic lessons. Tragedy and poverty shredded the clothes on my back into rags. Even then, I would not give in. On the streets of Cairo, when an empty belly pushed me to put aside the morals taught to me by my parents, I trekked back to my mother's village in Kenya till my feet scabbed over. I chose 2,000 miles of treacherous uncertainty rather than remain a pickpocket. I am not a goddess because I hold great power. I am a goddess because nothing, no one controls me. And Infinity goes on to say, separated one from the other, is this the eight death and oblivion have endured for all these eons? Without my brother, I can barely keep myself whole. If you have the power to end me, do it. Destruction would mean relief. From that standpoint, Storm was about to put the brakes to Infinity, only to be stopped by Galactus, because he put up a very valid point. He says, listen, you says nothing controls you, but you letting your emotions get the best of you. And from that standpoint, Storm stops, like tears come down her eyes. And then you fast forward them at the night and day hospital for the extra mundane. And the funny thing about this, but I find that absolutely hilarious, someone of Galactus's caliber, right, is just sitting there Indian style, having a conversation with Silver Surfer sitting outside this hospital.
Huh?
And unfortunately, Maggot didn't survive. Maggot didn't survive, but Eden is surviving by a thread as Gateway watches on. Now, obviously, Storm is very apologetic about what transpired, because she basically says, had I been more earnest in my studies with Dr. Voodoo, had I accepted help from others, maybe this wouldn't have transpired. Maybe I was afraid that they was going to keep me from exacting my revenge. So that's why I went at it alone. But Gateway tells her, like, listen, shape a better future, Aurora Monroe. Shape a better universe. Now you fast forward to the House of Ideas, and you see Oblivion, the one above all, Father. And he speaks, and it's eternity. He said, I have come to bargain for the fate of the universe. Father. Then he goes back to the Night and Day Hospital, and Silver Surfer says, Oblivion is no more. Eternity has abandoned our universe. Death is death. Her ways have always been beyond our comprehension. Hadad splinters our forces with the Black Winters, forcing the Phoenix to return home to defend the force of creation and the mutant civilization she houses within it. What is this decay of rebirth? What is destruction to creation? What is the Black Winter to the Phoenix? So even this is reaching the Phoenix. Like, she is having issues of her own. And with Scarlet Witch and her patron entity, the Never Queen, defend the land of possibilities to keep magic and creativity alive. Even the Abyss is envious of the things I have consumed. In your search for prey, you have found a predator. So not only is Storm dealing with some shit on the Omega cosmic level, so is Phoenix and Scarlet Witch and the Never Queen. So she, in essence, she is not alone.
Yeah!
So we go on to the very last page, and it says Galactus and I will help Infinity and her avatar Quasar to repel the Black Winters for as long as we can. And Galactus goes on to say, while you summon all the courage and strength you can to muster to face the storm god Hadad alone. And that is how the Thunder War Part 2 ends, man. I cannot wait for Part 3 of the Thunder War. What will happen with Storm? What will happen with Hadad? What will happen with Galactus, Silver Surfer, and Infinity, and Quasar as they take on the Black Winter? If you have not read Storm, go back to Storm #1 and read yourself all the way up to this point, because the Thunder War and the whole entire run of Storm solo series do not disappoint. You already know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you get notified on all of our content. Make sure when you hit that notification bell, you make sure that it says all content. That way, anything that we do, you will be notified and you can check it out and support us. So see you guys next time. Peace.